The CBC, concept-based curriculum, is where we orchestrate the students' learning so that they can assimilate all that they do, all that they learn, and feed into an overarching concept.
By the end, they are expected to achieve a certain number of essential skills, which are the essential ones in terms of the 21st century.
Concept-based learning, first of all, is the work of Lynn Erickson. It is introducing students to higher order level thinking. Bloom's taxonomy. There are 6 levels of knowledge. Most education systems only deal with the bottom 3, which is degrees of difficulty. We believe that you have to push kids to degrees of complexity. We have discovered that students can deal with complexity as young as 3 years of age. And that is why we have adopted concept-based curriculum from pre-K to the 9th grade, all at the same time, is the first time.
Our vision and mission is challenged, lifelong learners, internationally minded and principled citizens. And when we do the concept-based curriculum project like this, our vision and mission is at the heart of our CBC.
And I feel that values are not being taught. All of the concepts that we have chosen and themes that we have chosen, it's a time when we think of others, it's time when we take a world problem, and it's a time when we look at what is our responsibility to overcome those problems.
The planning and running of a CBC obviously takes a great deal of cooperation and collaboration between every person working in the school. The very first step is the decision on what we would like the overarching concept to be. We make it contemporary and real-life based, so it can really be something that the students can identify with and relate to in a real-world situation. Following this, there's a series of meetings where the teachers will meet in year groups or departments.
Each teacher looks at the different content areas and selects what they feel is a relevant part of the syllabus that they believe that the CBC should cover.
To launch it in an exciting way, we always try to bring in guest speakers. So for example, this year, for the youngest age group, we had the Sea Life Centre come in to talk about animal migration, which is very age appropriate, whereas for the eldest students, for example, we invited an RTP journalist who had been to some of the countries in Eastern Europe to talk about refugees. Once we've launched the concept-based curriculum and the students have begun to engage in the concept and the theme, they work in groups of 4 in collaborative teams. We try to ask teachers to take steps back, to facilitate the students in their learning, to allow the students to lead their learning.
So if they learn better through watching videos, then that's how they might find research on immigration. If they do better with charts and graphs, then that's what they'll naturally gravitate toward, as opposed to me supplying them with the materials for their research.
And in so doing, you witness the school come alive. The students are passionate, they're motivated, they're engaged, but it's the teacher as facilitator and the students that lead their own learning.
The concept is the same and we see the output is completely different from one classroom to the other. So we see that the kids took their own initiatives, their own creativity, and they took the same topic to completely different levels.
The skills are an essential part of education. Knowledge and information is so readily available in the world that we live in. Students don't really need us to feed them knowledge. A concept-based curriculum or concept-based learnings allows us to give the students the opportunity to draw on their math skills or IT skills or language skills, but then assimilate them. And that assimilation brings about the need for other skills such as persistence or collaboration or adaptability.
At the end, the CBC allows students to develop their 21st century skills and prepare them for the job market.
What are the 21st century skills? 1, the ability to work in teams. This is extraordinarily difficult for students to learn.
We have different people in our group. We work in different things. We all have to agree each other.
We learn to become a better team member and to cooperate better with our colleagues, that independently if we like them or not, we have to work with them.
I think having different roles is important because otherwise we are in a way lost. There's the team leader, that's me, that we take care of like what is happening and how to keep all the team in order. Resource manager, he helps us when we need anything like glue or scissors. There's the timekeeper. We have a lot of tasks to do during the CBC. To keep everything in order is hard, so we need a timekeeper to say, well, we have like half an hour to finish this and then we need to pass something else. There's also the reporter that what we write, he needs to be able to explain to everyone.
Besides that is leadership, that very often, right from the age of 3, those leaders appear. And we can already say those ones will be the head boys and head girls of the future.
In CBC, we learn by ourselves. We learn to learn. I think that's a great skill for the rest of your life. In any job, you always need to be able to say, well, now I'm going to do this. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do it by myself.
Every year we orchestrate the final product to look differently. This year the whole school ended up thinking about turning the school into an interactive museum. We opened the school to all the parents, to the wider CLIP community. We invited special guests, and it was a day which I think went possibly down in effect in the history of CLIP. It was incredibly exciting. I don't believe we've done anything like this before.
Some were doing like digital videos and some were doing like online applications. Others was doing role-playing games. So everything kind of like nicely mixed.
At the end, they really need to present the work that they do. They really need to explain and to talk with other parents, with lots of people that they really don't know, and they are able to do it.
They weren't stuck if you asked them something. It's not that they didn't know what to do or what to say. On the contrary, they face with enthusiasm every question someone will ask them. So I think that prepares them well for the future.
I think that the end result was definitely very powerful. And I think that for the first time, because we were doing exactly the same thing from pre-K to Form 9, the atmosphere in school was amazing.
When you were going around, I had teachers coming to hug me to say, it's worked. Oh, we're so proud. That's when you know that the magic of teaching and learning is happening.
Personally, this is the first time I've done a CBC, and I quite enjoyed it. At first, it's kind of hard just letting them go out into the world and telling them, well, here's your subject matter, do your research, and kind of letting them go is a scary thought, but I think they did fantastic.
Besides all the academics that the children has to learn, if they can step by step in every year learn the other soft skills that are not taught, then I think we're achieving a different type of learning. And I think CLIP is going into that direction.
I think we can always make improvements. I think every year we get stronger, every year we get better. I don't know if there is the perfect concept-based curriculum, but maybe that's the beauty of it. Maybe we can't make it perfect because we don't have the complete power. It's the students that have the power. So maybe we do have it right.